Okay. And speaking of happiness, to the suburbs of loss.
There's a great name, right?
Now then, let us fight together.
Well, I actually only had the bit of the window over there.
There you go. Because I bet I've got. Oh, and I've got the poison. Absolutely. Okay.
Oh,
so,
let me adjust the. Well, you can keep talking too. I just need to adjust the noise gate
right
to account for.
I know that purchasing the SP bottle might be a good idea, but I won't need gems. I don't think.
And then you can be quiet for just 1 second. There we go. Yeah, that's what I've been trying. I've been trying to do my whole life is get men to be quiet.
Hardy, hard. Alright, so go ahead and store one of those. Let's store that. Keep the apple because I tend to wander around a fair bit. With 9 items, that's a fair bit of.
Yes, aren't you impressed, Lorax? I actually remembered to post on the forum this time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I wasn't expecting it either. And everything is as upgraded as I can make it, which isn't much, unfortunately.
We joke about this kind of thing all the time because, frankly, it is kind of silly.
Just a little bit, yes.
But I had to draw the line when on Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, no, it was Friday. When I went to pick up Ben before we started streaming, I went ahead and got some pizzas at the grocery store, and I was going to have one of them for dinner last night. And I forgot and left them in the car. So of course they'd gone bad by the time that I got back. It's like, you know what? If my memory is getting so bad, I forget food. That is really, really bad.
Right.
So I have just been taking pains to make sure I remember everything I'm supposed to. It's been a little stressful actually, but it's something I need to do. So
level 14. All right. Well, we are heading straight into a dungeon. The Suburbs of Loss.
Did we have the first cutscene to set this up last time? I don't remember. Or did it just go straight to the dungeon?
I believe we had the cutscene.
Okay. That's going to make it awkward to edit, but...
We'll be fine.
Yeah, what I've been doing on YouTube is separating them by chapter. And if it's too long for one chapter... maybe use a gem for this one with the 4 enemies right there. Or did you not bring any?
I brought a sleep one, but since 3 of them are sleeping, I'll be fine.
They're already asleep, right? And dude just does not want to mess with you. There we go.
Not that I can necessarily, worry about it.
Right.
And yes, try to hit me with Confuse. I dare you.
So, this is one of the weird things about... Hey, Keen.
Hey, Keen.
Are you sure you clicked on the right button? We're not playing Rune Factory.
Novel accessory.
Well, I am glad to have you here. But yeah, in dungeons, it's pretty rare to have that many enemies all in one room. Generally, what the game does, and especially later on, is they'll spawn like one to 3 enemies in a room, and usually just 1 or 2. And then some of them are mobile, and that can. They can try, and eventually they'll get smart enough to try to set up traps and wait for you. Like some of them are flagged to be tricksy types that will try to lure you into ambushes.
Also, I'm worried about how little damage I'm doing.
I mean, you seem to be doing about part of me. It is true that...
I was about to say he didn't want any part of me, but...
In his mind, right. It does seem like the angel enemies tend to be more likely to run away.
Oh, I think that's another Needle Hex gem. So I finally got number 2 on that.
Then we can try to figure out what needle enemies are.
Yes. That just loops around.
Oh, I appreciate. He says he's interested in checking other stuff out. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Also, scroll it over so you can actually see what everyone's saying. A cutesy anime waifu sim with some combat. That's true. It is definitely Rune Factory 3. Well, the only difference is we transform into angels and demons and not sheep.
But there's the thing of, I mean, now it's starting to head that way, but the first couple episodes were, our hero, like, throwing up over the stress of, like, everybody dying.
Right.
Because he wasn't powerful enough to save them. And then he turned into some...
And then how dare you want to get power enough to save people?
Right.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, the pacing in this game is all over the place. It's really weird. Like, I've gotten up to the final chapter, and I stopped there because you don't want to get the ending spoiled. And much like in Darkest Dungeon, only the ending spoiled.
Please note for everybody that I actually had to keep Wayne from spoiling it.
No, I voluntarily did that one.
You volunteered in the same way that people get drafted. It's like, yeah, it's great that you did it, but you knew that you wouldn't have survived otherwise.
Well, if you'll remember, I offered that idea. But no, the thing is that, and Ben's only telling you half the story as he is wont to do, because the reason why I started playing ahead in the first place was that we weren't sure if we were going to finish it after the first stream.
Well, everybody knows, like, I've already said that, and you, there's another one. And you're kind of saying what I do, insofar as, yes, that's originally what the plan was. And then you just kept right on going.
Well, yeah, because you never knew if it would wrap back around again. We had to get more data, you see.
Always more data.
Combat data.
Like, I'll never stop forgetting how I had basically said that, I'd be willing to go with it, and then you just kept going anyway. Haha! 3 points of damage.
I wonder if what it missed last time was because it did 0. Well, no, everything always does at least 1.
Right.
Yeah. God. Oh, interesting. Needless to say, this doesn't happen if you went the other route.
Right. Well, it's good that nobody has a reaction to the actual dead people saying, it was fine.
Right.
Arg.
Yeah, Kina made a comparison to this with Mystery Dungeon, and yeah, it definitely has that kind of. It is a very simplified, friendly kind of roguelike, and you would think that the gameplay would be as bleak as the story started off being, but it's actually for one thing you can save and reload, which
right.
I understand is a pretty big no-no in most rogue type games.
Right.
And there we go. I was starting to say, but we still got mimics, and sure enough.
Oh, mimics.
And the one thing it keeps is that if you die in a dungeon, you keep the XP you got, but you lose all of your items, and including the stuff you had equipped. There's no
This seems a little silly.
Yeah. Including I liked how Reciteer would let you at least keep one thing in addition to the stuff that your people owned. It's like if they were wearing it, you got to bring it with you.
Drat. Oh, that's haste. Fantastic.
Yeah, haste and slow are straight up action multipliers. If you're hasted, you get 2 turns, and everybody else gets 1 to everybody else's. And if you're slowed, they get 2 turns, to yours. There are some enemies later on that are permanently hasted, which is just great,
Yeah. Thankfully, they tend not to be too bad.
Right.
They can still be a royal pain.
It's love the little disease over enemies.
There we go.
The one thing I wish is that they had they'd either not had diagonal movement, or they made it easier for you to do.
Right, because, the fact that sometimes diagonal movement will save you, then sometimes they'll just completely maul you because you try to go for it and it doesn't work.
Yeah, if you try to do a diagonal step and you end up having to, and you don't do it quite right, you'll take 2 steps and thus potentially get hit as you move past an enemy.
Let's see. Another way I can go here. So let's try that.
You're halfway burned out of your AC already.
Yep, because I tend to wander around a fair bit.
Well, you didn't have much choice in the matter on the start of this dungeon. But I think the next power in the dark tree is the ability to teleport. It's like it actually is the old D&D joke of teleport without a destination.
Right.
It just drops you somewhere randomly on the same floor.
Yep. If you just want to say, I don't care where I go as long as it's not here.
As long as it's not here.
Wow, that's a lot of traps all at once. And Okay.
So that's a good time whenever you're in a situation like at the start of the level where you're just wandering, or right there where you're at a dead end.
Right.
You just, nope.
It's like no matter where I go, it's better than here.
Right.
Or if you pop into a room with like 5 people in it.
Right.
Not that this has ever happened to us. Yeah, it's was.
Right.
Wow, I'm getting actually a lot of chances about identifying things. It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. Did you have something boosting that, or was
I
that?
don't think so.
Yeah.
Whee! There we go.
Excellent.
Oh, SP bottle.
They're pretty useful in a pinch. Until you get accessories that help manage your SP.
If.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that you will.
Exactly.
But it's kind of frustrating because, like, even just the ring that lets you regain SP at twice the normal rate is such a game changer.
Right.
That's absolutely fantastic.
Keen says, check the shoulder buttons, perhaps. Shiran and other Mystery Dungeon games tend to have a function there that locks it so you have to move diagonally. There's a thought.
I don't think so. Because, yeah, the L2 and R2 switch between Angel and Devil mode.
Oh, and then L1 and R1 do the move you have selected for them.
Well,
right.
R1 doesn't. What does R1 do? Go here. Aha!
Oh.
R1 does that.
Thank you.
That is fantastic and will possibly save our lives.
Keen with the save, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I thought I got in my head for some silly reason that L1 would be like an angel move and R1 would be a devil move, but no, that's silly. It's L1 to do the move you have selected.
Right.
So yeah, awesome.
Exactly how that. That is a amazing hand.
But it won't save you.
There.
What's funny is that there's actually a fairly comprehensive tutorial at the start of this game, but I'm pretty sure they didn't actually have that in there.
No, I don't believe so.
Right.
Which is sad because that would have been really, really useful. Okay.
Yeah, I have to assume that Nipponichi thought that nobody would play this game who wasn't already a fan of the genre, whereas Ben's played hardly any of them. It was more he was kind of interested in the premise, the God game kind of thing. That's an angel.
You're right. There we go. Now that made a whole lot of difference.
A whole whopping 4 points more damage.
And
I'm starting to think that, and this, I think we talked about this last time, but one of the problems with this game is at first all of the gems you get to upgrade your weapon and armor are things that do extra damage or resist the damage from certain types of enemies. And the problem is not every dungeon has every type.
right.
So, for example, if Ben had picked the item that reduces damage from the
Holy cow.
from the exploding guys, it's like that's really cool, But then you go to a floor that has none of them, and you just wasted your time.
Yeah, I just do not have the tools in my box to deal with them right now.
Right. Yeah, it's completely random. They like a lot of enemies, they just have.
Oh, hey.
It's just completely random which moves they use.
Right.
If they decide to blow up first thing, then you don't really have anything you can do about it.
Well, I think they don't ever... I don't think, anyway, they ever blow up first.
They do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, it's never happened to me.
Actually, didn't it just happen with that first one you fought?
No, I hit him at least once before you.
Well, you hit him as you moved in, but then he exploded. And as his first move. That's my opening bid. I will blow up in your face.
Yeah, we'd have to go to the instant replay on that, because I don't think that's how it works, but it could be.
Could be. So it'd be really silly for one of us whenever this goes up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Well, how is that different from what we usually have?
Right.
Alright, we are halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Continue our search.
Yeah, they don't have any dungeons that go beyond 10 floors. And the one time they do, they actually break it up into 2 different dungeons, so neither one of them is more than 10.
Right. Yeah, it's like they cannot have more than... Oh man, it's so nice to finally be able to reliably go on diagonals.
Right. Keen's only been in the stream for 15 minutes and has already saved her bacon. It's already MVP. Sorry, Lorax.
Oh, devil. Mm-hmm. I wish there were random angel creatures, but I guess it makes sense why there wouldn't be.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Because, yeah, if they split and then surrounded you, that'd been pretty bad. Oh, there you go. You've already hit once.
There we are.
Perfect. Yeah, that's the way to do it if you have the SP for it.
Black gem.
Black gem. Ominous.
Just a little bit.
Horse make up for making even cruder comments. Lorax. Yeah, it's to put that in context a little bit on the Rune Factory stream I just posted. It was the one where Lorax made a box comment. I actually didn't know what he meant until I was like, Lorax, clearly I laughed along with it because as I do. And then it's like, you know what? Lorax meant that to be dirty. What do you mean? Urban Dictionary. Lorax.
The question is still on the table.
That is a curse tile.
Let's not activate the curse tile.
Yep. They're just meant to be like a skull with kind of glaring at you.
Oh, let's go ahead and have one of those delicious sounds.
Yeah, nothing immediately bad happens when you run out of AC, but you start losing HP when you take a step, and you no longer get HP for moving, so you definitely don't want to be in that state for very long. In your current state.
He's probably going to explode on me and I just have to go. Oh, he didn't. Yay.
Yep, that.
Okay.
The family-friendly streams.
Nah, this should be fun.
That's a good open shot.
How am I going to take care of this?
Buff up, maybe?
That's a thought.
And then maybe you could also throw a... if you had the seal pill, probably could have...
Oh, I'm out of SP.
Uh-oh.
This could be bad. Well, I got one of these, so...
Yeah, I'd say that was very timely. Ooh, boy, that was close. Alex, to be fair, that joke is the kind of joke that would hide in a cartoon for adults watching with their kids. Very true. Very true.
Look, another spear. Okay, there's nothing here, and I don't care to fight thief enemies, so I'm gonna go.
And in that, of course, in that example, I would be the kid because I didn't get the joke.
This should all loop around eventually.
Oh, yep.
Ouch. Well, at least that's the shield that I'm going to be keeping on anyway.
I'm about to say, it's like, yeah, when it curses your weapon or armor, I think the idea for that one, this is something Ben and I discussed, that if the inventory was more manageable, if you're just doing a very fast run to the end to get to a boss or something, you can have a secondary item in there, secondary weapon, that has the kind of like the golf bag from D&D, 3.5, where it's like
I wish I could teleport.
It's like if you want to have your your ogre sling knife, it's plus 9 against ogres. You keep that in your backpack. When the ogre pops up, you pull it and you quick draw and kill it.
Aha!
Right. So if your primary weapon is cursed, you can no longer do that. The problem is that if you this by the way this game works, one, it's not typically hard enough to justify that in the first place, and and two, to get the most use out of the target or out of the enemy specific augments, you want to know that they're the dungeon ahead of time to know which ones are going to be in it, and thus you always bring the right ones anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah, the fact that you only ever get 30 slots in your inventory means that you're never going to have that big of a selection anyway.
Right.
And even if you do, they're going to be broadly useful enough that even if you get cursed, you're not going to mind overly much.
Right. I guess there is like
he was carrying the seeds of his own destruction.
Yeah, I guess there is the fact that if you get hit with a bunch of those acid traps that ruin the piece of equipment, you might want to trade out.
Right.
But
that's such a rare thing to happen.
Right, and also due to the way the scaling properties works on weapons, you're gonna have to get hit with a couple of those to lose a single point out of.
Right. And thank goodness for that.
Right. Oh, she's got a nice sword there. I do love how with those enemies you can actually see what they're carrying.
I wish you could just grab them, but well.
Yeah, like I was starting to say before we got sidetracked with that. I was a very sheltered kid, so middle school was very awkward.
Sensory ring. That's kind of interesting.
I've never seen that one. Not the most useful specialty ring, but
right. And it does kind of let you know where rooms are and things like that.
True. If you see a really long space between...
Or if you just see somebody kind of milling around in a circle.
Right. You see her below again. Oh, you got another apple, though. And every potion or pill or whatever you eat is worth 5, so that can help out in a pinch. What are you thinking? Oh boy! Maybe move up one and gem them.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. Man alive. Let's go with the sure thing.
Yeah. A black gem might be the boom gem, but it might not.
Actually, let's just get out of here. Nice.
Especially with that, right?
Actually.
Oh, there you go. Well played. So indirectly, sleep gave you the win there. Isn't the best use of those debuff things, though? It's like a little divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's basically
it. You've clearly found the devil factory. They've built their assembly line explodo birds.
Right. What is this?
I think
that isn't too bad.
The exit must be above that room you were in, since everything else is dead end.
Yeah, I was thinking it had to be somewhere else. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to fight that thing.
I woke up now anyway, so.
Oh, great.
And the one, yeah, because of the devil phasing enemy is a little more aggressive. I love how it's like he hits you once and starts going away. Right. Maybe he didn't notice me.
I can imagine, his idea being, I'll hit him in the back. That's fine. Gosh, I've still got 2 floors more to go. Okay. That's another apple, so we're still good.
Yep.
Let's see. So I'll be able to upgrade to the round shield next time. That's good.
Yeah, the upgrades start really flying in a lot more quickly.
That was what I wanted.
Better secure some SP. Ooh. Those little guys.
These things aren't really too much of a problem.
Yeah, they just do damage.
Yeah, they're kind of the ankle biters of this game.
I've been doing some thinking as you've been going through here to try to find out which enemies might be the needle type, and still coming up empty.
Well, here we haven't found anything with needles at all.
Right. My first thought would be the Well, let's see. No, there's a mimic ones. There's phasing enemies. I may have to look that one up. It might be a mistranslation thing.
Right.
You know, this game with the stellar editing that when you equip the Confusion Gem, it has paralyzed status and vice versa.
Right.
Huh.
All right.
Geist. Oh man, Geist.
It was not a good game.
You possess dog food. Why is it that so many of these games with an awesome, potential and premise and everything just get ruined by not having the resources and vision to kind of, bring it up to par?
Make it work,
right.
Yeah. I actually think the big reason for it is because a lot of designers that come up with that are, to put it nicely, quirky. And so they don't tend to follow the things that would make it traditionally successful.
Right.
Like, they have a great idea, and that's fine, but they just kind of run with it, and they don't really think about the what else they need to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what my guess would be.
It's like, as much as you like or may not like, David Cage and his games and everything, it's like, would anybody have taken him seriously if we didn't have these enormous budgets to make, to add the immersion and that kind of appeal to his games?
Well, even if he didn't have quite so much of the budget, the fact that he actually paid attention and said, okay, people want to have something that they feel is more than the traditional game experience,
right.
The whole game novel thing. And they want to feel like they're, in essence, better than other gamers. And he taps into that, and he tries to pull it off.
Right.
And the fact that so many people still say, oh yeah, it's totally great and amazing, is kind of proof of the concept. Also, I cannot believe they did this to me again.
It's like in Covert Action, where you just kind of sneak around the building because of all the one-way doors and stuff.
Right.
Keep working hard there, Demon Man.
That was bad. But I got myself a med kit.
Good time to use it, so. But no, I'm just kind of going on the line that for a lot of the wannabe auteur designers, it's like it's not that like Heavy Rain had it and everything, but being able to have some really good selling points in the game, like good graphics, good kinesthetics, or something like that, can cover up a lot of writing sins.
There is that.
Yeah, that's kind of all I was getting at. You're right about what to kind of the appeal he was shooting for to make it successful as it was. There's also the fact that a lot of people kind of writing in games has a really weird area where a lot of people think of it as a non-essential bonus. It's like, if your game has good writing, then so much the better. But unless you're actually writing a book that you occasionally fight enemies in, like Planescape Torment, then a lot of people just don't think.
Yeah, like I actually remember. Gosh, again? Okay, I was going to explore a little bit more, but.
This is the equivalent of your trip through the Cove and Darkest Dungeon, just constant hunger events.
Right. Yeah, I actually remember I knew it, but I was talking with somebody about a game yesterday, and basically the defense was, yeah, the writing is bad, but it's a stupid action game.
Right.
So whatever. It's like, yeah, it seems like people kind of think that you can get away with a lot more if you're saying, well, it's kind of the whole it's so bad it's good thing.
Right.
It's like, if you set out to be bad, it's okay. And my position is, no, it's not okay.
Right.
But of course, I'm one of those, really persnickety. Oh,
nice.
Gosh, what?
At least the game summoned them from their lunch, from their siesta, though.
Right. Let's see. I've already got these. Got that. Okay.
Right.
Now I can take it.
Nicely done. And the game Ben's referencing was, and we can name drop him. You know, he's a bro and everything. We were watching Zane play Ashura's Wrath. And that one, I think, kind of is the epitome of a game that's intentionally bad. It's like, you know, they have this, you know, really overwrought, you know, story, and it's just
overwrought is a good word for it.
Right. You know, the millennia pass between any given, you know, event, and
if it doesn't happen in 6,000 years, it's not worth mentioning.
right.
Where's the exit?
Discover fated duel on the moon, and yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I don't, you know, necessarily mind that, but I also, good golly.
Exit's probably going to be either above this room or to the right and down. It's pretty much got to be one of those two.
Oh.
So not this one, so
Let's keep on going this way.
that's going to loop around to that room.
There we are.
Your limit is drawing near. Isn't there any way?
yes, this might not be good. Yay, dungeon clear.
Well, look at Shin's face. He kind of has that, like, starting to fall asleep or something, it looks like.
Keen is a gameplay first sort of person. Doesn't matter how good a story is, the fundamental gameplay just isn't engaging. Yeah, I can understand that. This, yes. But my thing is, if you're, it's kind of a bit of the opposite for me. It's like, if you're going to include writing, at least make it good writing. And I'm not asking for a magnum opus every time, but I'm asking for, you know, basic high school level, you know, English lit. Basically, if I'm paying for this, I want my money's worth.
Before I do that, where's the hostage? She better be safe.
Or at least, if you're going to say that,
we'll start with the hostage exchange. You go first. Hand over Shin Kamikaze and
but if you're going to say, I mean, if the writing is bad, at least confess it as such. You know, at least acknowledge, yes, the writing is bad, and that is kind of a problem, because it doesn't take that much work to get good writing. Certainly a lot less work than it is to get good gameplay. I don't want to keep speaking over them.
Oh, okay.
At least for something like that.
The exchange will occur.
All the way over here on this giant X on the floor.
No,
And yeah, I'm kind of with Ghost Dad. Also, hey, Ghost Dad. I can forgive mediocre gameplay if the story's good and vice versa.
Right.
Understood. Sir Shin, Miss Arya, please.
Basically, you two want a very good product and aren't too particular whether it's a gameplay that's amazing or the story is amazing, as long as one of them is really good. Is that kind of the takeaway, or?
Yeah, that's what I would go with. Although I will lean a little bit more on, if the story is absolute garbage, then even really good gameplay is probably not going to sell.
Right.
Lagasp!
Flashbangs!
Eri, this way!
attack. That's a dirty tactic.
Frustrated yapping.
It is true, you know, the devils don't really have a leg to stand on.
Right.
You better entertain
Hooray!
me.
It's the feel-good story of the moment. Actually, let's equip.
See, this is kind of what I mean about the game really starting to mellow out after the last couple chapters. I mean, where's our big, you know, melodramatic point of where we have to sacrifice someone to make sure that Eri can escape?
Yeah, seriously, it's like, you know, Eri survived. How dare she?
Right.
Don't you know you're supposed to die by now? Alright, item boosting, because this should be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly, Lorax. Yeah, the devils. How dare you cheat in this exchange? We should have horribly tortured and murdered her instead.
That's not great with that.
See, that's the problem when you never negotiate in good faith, and you're always absolute evil in these areas, because it's like nobody will ever treat you as a fair partner. So you'll always have to be on the lookout for getting screwed over. It kind of reminds me of the social systems in combat RPGs like D&D and Exalted. A lot of people are like, well, what if I just kill everybody? That is going to give me grief. Then I win, right? Then I don't need to worry about what my diplomacy bonuses.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, once you get the reputation for always for just murdering anyone who wants something from you, then it's like you will not get good faith negotiators. It'll be everybody trying to cheat you, kill you, or in everything like that, because they have learned that's the only way to deal with you.
Ooh, I think I should probably see. They don't even list how many that you have, right?
Yeah, but I would always buy revive gems and exits when they show up, because there's never a guarantee you'll get one.
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and buy these two, because that's good times.
Right.
And then, yeah, if either of these actually had more slots or a higher rating, then I would buy them. But since they don't, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, I think this dungeon or the next one is where your first 2-slot items will start showing up.
So neither of those are really that important. I'll probably put that in the storehouse in case I need it later.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to use that ever.
It's a flat 30 damage, so it's good for the exploding enemies. So hit them as they close in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might bring them along and just make sure to use it.
I'll go ahead and put both of them in there for now.
So, yeah, the question is with how important money is in this game. Like, is any use of an item comparable to what you would get by selling?
Oh, that was a destroyer gem.
Well, you got the destroyer gem separately. I think the black gem was a remarkable gem.
No, I just purchased that.
The stuff you purchased will be at the bottom.
Yeah, it is at the bottom.
Oh. Fair enough.
Yep. Yeah, I purchased a remarkable gem. I know I didn't purchase a destroyer gem. I don't think they were on sale.
But I think I saw a destroyer.
Unless there was the heavy gem?
Yeah, that must have been it, because I actually saw it pop up that you got a destroyer gem.
I shouldn't have done that, because slow is actually really good in this game. Let's see. And then that is a extra one that I don't need.
Right.
So sell that. Yeah, I think I'll sell that. Alright, now we go to the storehouse, and we store some things.
A good thing to do with your storehouse.
I'm almost tempted to go with that instead of Confuse, but...
The fact that Paralyze will only sometimes mess you up, but Confuse always will as long as it lasts, I think kind of makes that a...
That away...
Because when you got paralyzed by that one enemy the one time, it didn't hurt you at all.
Actually, I think I'm going to sell the Weakened and Hardened. At least I'm going to sell the Weakened Pill. And I think I will sell the Hardened and Hit as well.
Yeah, if the story hints that there's a boss coming up, you'd want a Weakened Pill for him, but... Otherwise, yeah.
I'll keep an exit, because that's always good.
Yeah.
And I'll put an apple away too. And yeah, I'll go and sell that. And sell that. Okay. And yeah, I put the haste pill away unless there's a boss coming up. Put away the apple, and that should be good.
Maybe check your item boost and see if there's gems to combine.
There aren't gems, but the items that I purchased I can combine. So put that over. Put that over. Alright. Now, item boost. It's over here. Yes.
Yeah, I just remember you saying that you got a new needle gem, I thought.
It's a defense thing, come to find out.
Ah, okay. That's right, jagged gem instead of hex gem.
Right. Let's go ahead and boost.
Oh, still no defense increase.
Ah, well, we're getting there.
Yep.
The fact that I've gone so long without having any defense upgrades. Yeah, like it's needle hex.
Gotcha, it's needle jagged. You've already got level 2 needle jaggy.
Right. Actually, I'll hold off on that until I get the events. Alright, next event.
Alright. We finally had some success. What is the game going to do now?
Although I will say it is kind of You know, one thing I've kind of noticed is that it really seems like a lot of times, you know, the evil villain always fails when he shows a glimmer of goodness. Like in this case, you know, if the devils had actually horribly tortured and murdered Eri, and then the two had come in, then this wouldn't have been a problem.
Right.
Or likewise, you know, a lot of hostages escape when, you know, they convince the kidnapper to let their guard down for a little bit. So it is kind of interesting that, you know, the moral never seems to be drawn that, you know, good exploits evil when evil shows a little bit of good.
After all, you did come and save me. But I'd really prefer if this was the only time. Unfortunately, Miss Eri, as God's friend, you have been targeted
I'm a
by
friend of
devils.
God, I'm a friend of God, he calls me friend.
If you return to the human world, you will be in danger of another attack. So we shall bring you to Celestia under
What
our
about her
protection.
homework?
What? I don't know how to respond to that.
The dude from the background has already been spirited away.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am relieved that all
She
three of
doesn't
you
look
are
relieved.
I love the music change too. It's like, uh-oh.
Sister? I guess we can't hide it. Of course. Are you prepared? Yes, sister. You are assigned a shore of readiness, Jupiter.
Ooh.
However, you and Shin must be placed in
Throwing down
solitary
$30
confinement
words
by
like it
the
ain't
night.
nothing.
And
Script Mormon
we will
propaganda.
be restricting your activity for the time being.
We will let you know if we
It might
find
not be a
any out any
punishment,
hints
since
in
you'll
golden
still be able
tablets.
to research the Fate Awakening
I've got my special glasses on, so I'm good to go.
Perfect. There was something I needed to research. I also have an ample supply of instant noodles, so for me, this is a dream come true.
And you must be Miss Eri.
And suddenly everything's okay again.
Yes, I am.
I apologize for the late introduction.
He's,
My name is Mario
he's
Sora.
being very...
I am the Archangel.
Not sure what the
of
delivery
Celestia.
is in this scene.
I
It's
am
supposed to be
terribly
curt, is what they're
sorry
going
that you have
for.
been involved in our battle, even though you were living a
I
peaceful
think
life. in a
clipped
human
is the word
world.
that I would use.
Right.
Hey, Shin, how should I respond to her?
I can't talk under arrest. Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be a little awkward.
A gloomy ambiance.
It is always one of those...
How dare you imprison God, by the way?
Yeah, it's always one of those sections that I find interesting in these kinds of stories. Because there's always that part, especially in action movies, where it's like the cop has to go rogue, or the hero has to leave his post. And,
Oh yeah, and for those of you who haven't encountered this yet, we can talk with somebody and we will get angel or devil points.
Right.
So do we go with angel waifu or devil waifu?
But like I was starting to say is or the soldier has to leave his post and go on the mission and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's always a lot of those movies and stories are presented as the hero is unequivocally right, and
Lorax says Jupi.
the authority figures are completely wrong for opposing it.
Sir Shin?
And yet, and rules are rules for a reason.
Whoa, Jupiel! How?
Of course, my experience is a
You do
little
not
bit
have to
different
act
because very
so
often
surprised.
rules are
Our
rules and
souls
they're
are
really
linked, after
stupid.
all.
Right.
So I am
So-
able to use the Imagicon.
Yeah, I mean, in the case where the rules are wrong, then sure, it's an obvious decision there.
Right.
You are not surprised when Miss Ariel does it, but you are surprised when I do?
Keen says, flip a coin like all major life choices.
And Ghost Eye says Jupio looks a little too
sorry.
Stepford wife for his
So what's up?
tastes.
Why are you
Yeah,
calling
that's
me
fair
all of a
enough.
sudden?
There is that element of,
I am
for
concerned
all the
about how
angels,
you're
of
doing.
having to put on like a false front of the goodness and everything, but having some issues there.
The only problem is that-
Jupiel is unambiguously good, though. Right.
See, my problem is that none of them even bother with the front.
Right.
It's like Muriel doesn't do it, Zaluel definitely doesn't
That's
do
true,
it.
yeah.
And the only ones that, are other than that, are either unnamed, so we don't know, or they're like Mushroom Head or someone else, where they just either don't bother or there's nothing else to them.
Right.
So.
Forced to listen to my sister's
Like this Devil Doctor has called us way too many mean names at this point for me to ever choose her.
Yeah, unless Ben is in here with his lab coat fetish to swing things around, I don't think we're missing too much more of Ariel this playthrough.
But remember, whoever's quickest on the trigger, so...
Yeah, if enough of you are actually want to have a vote over it, then we'll definitely do a vote instead. But generally, it's
zombies or skeletal soldiers?
generally nobody likes either one of them enough to really care too much. So we do the first come first serve.
Uh-huh. What kind of logic is that?
Well, their DR is against Holy,
I'm fine
so...
with the existence of the undead, because they can be defeated. But things that exist inside ghost stories cannot be defeated.
Hey, Jupiel.
And Ghost Dad sadly doesn't care. Fair enough.
Exactly, yeah.
A friend of a friend once told me. I'm sorry, Jupiel. I was just kidding. So
Or it's his
please come
defense
back.
is his choice is the lesser of two evils, with Devil Doctor
Even if
being
it was
actually
only
evil.
a joke, please stop. I am really scared, you know?
Aw. You did a bad thing.
I'm sorry,
So there was our
I
bad thing for
myself.
the chapter.
I don't have any friends, so I don't have any friends of friends, so you don't have to worry.
Sir Shin, I am done talking about this.
But good job, Lorax. This all kind of backfired.
Jupiel disapproves?
Anyway, I'm sorry. You're locked up in a place like this because you gave in to my selfish desire.
This is a lot more interesting than the Ariel conversation.
Especially since you probably didn't want to defy your sister, who you truly admire so much.
Even if it is a bit troopy, it does kind of flesh out something about Jupiel. Whereas for Ariel is basically it's like we did good.
In the name of God, angels are obligated to carry out justice.
Gustad says, "Don't worry, he's a lonely
Regardless
boy."
of what is best for the war,
Right, just saving us from
always
dialogue about
be
instant
our
noodles.
top priority.
I think there probably was that too. Come to think
I
of
would
it,
not be surprised.
However, I am proud to say
or
that
being
I
called
acted
dumb or other
as an
names.
angel.
Jupiel, I understand. Thank you.
Those were the longest conversations that they've had with one of these things.
Yeah.
That is not a problem. After all, I am your exclusively assigned angel. It is my honor to be of use to you. If there is ever anything that is troubling you, or that you are
What about
worried
ghosts?
about, please do not hesitate to consult me.
Wonder how she feels about phasing enemies.
I'll do that.
Well, they exist so she can kill them.
Fair enough, I guess.
Now, if they never came out of the wall, then I think she would be, Peace that can only come through cooperation.
The true sense of the word.
Without drowning in power. Yeah, it really feels like they're kind of trying to back-justify the story that they had written. It's like it wasn't really power per se, it was drowning in power and whatnot.
Right.
I know that's fair enough, I guess, but... If he had said so at the start, he wouldn't have done the stupid thing, which would have then made the entire thing moot, so...
Right.
That
End of chapter.
was surprisingly painless.
Yeah.